Welcome back to ECE 442-542. We are now back from spring recess and we are just starting unit number 5, which is controller design. But before we get moved right into controller design or controller design part 1, I want to make sure that we sort of remember where we've been and know where we're going. And we have to do something in between the controller design and where we've been. And during this process, announcement-wise, make sure that you are looking on the D2L page. You're going to the discussion page, and actually, if you have questions, you might see, in fact, that your questions are being raised and hopefully answered in the discussion posts inside D2L. So make sure that you're looking at those occasionally and finding out, oh, what questions are being raised? Oh, I really hadn't thought of that. Or, yeah, I know the answer to that. Well, if you know the answer to that and it hasn't been answered yet, go ahead and provide your answer as a post in those discussion threads. There is a quiz in D2L that's due Saturday at 8 a.m. and that's really to measure the class majority in terms of what format would you like for the lectures. Would you prefer those to be 75 minutes in length, like a typical class period, or would you like me to break those up into pieces if the material sort of is conducive to breaking up into smaller chunks? Then we could maybe entertain that idea. So what's the lecture format that you would prefer? And when would you like to have office hours? And now that we are all online, we will hold office hours via Zoom, and we can hold those at the normal time slot from 4 to 5 on Monday and Wednesday, or everybody should be available if you're not originally in an online format. The main campus students should be available to have office hours from 5:30 to 6:30 p.m., but I want to get your input on that before I decide which of those. But those recordings, or I'm sorry, those office hours, if you go to the course homepage, hopefully they will now be available to you in the calendar of the D2L homepage, and you can click on that particular activity or that event, and then you can join the meeting for office hours, and I'll try to have those introduced in the calendar based on the preferences that you provide in the quiz on D2L. And the quiz in D2L, you can simply click to that page on D2L and go to that particular quiz, which is open for the next few days, giving me some time to respond to those particular majority opinions on lecture format and office time. Because the spring break or spring recess was extended, we're going to modify homework number 4's due date. Also, I want you to keep plugged in to the class as we progress. Stay tuned. There may be some adjustments relative to exams. Those exam dates obviously have been changed, and I don't yet know what exactly we will do. We might do something a little different than traditional midterm exams, and I'm still working on that. Let me know if you have difficulties accessing the material or participating in some way. Please send me an email to that effect if you do anticipate problems, or if you are having issues with internet connection or accessing material or knowing when things are due or getting things submitted properly. Please let me know via email. Also, I guess I shouldn't have said 442. That hasn't changed. The project is in fact only for the ECE 542 students, the graduate students. So ECE 542, you still have a project. Your first deliverable, which really is explain in a sentence or two what you plan to do for your project, and the project description is available on the D2L site on the content page in the module labeled Project ECE 542 Project. That first deliverable is due Wednesday, April 1st in the assignment folder for deliverable number 1. And deliverables 2 and 3, which is really the write-up or the main part of your project, and deliverable number 3, which is a reflective paragraph, those two are due on the last day of class, which is May 6th of 2020.